and this is what I want to dive into a little bit, is like the idea of imposter syndrome. We've talked about it on the podcast before, but as I look back and like every phase of the different things I've done in my life, I've pretty much had imposter syndrome in every one of those. So, you know, when I'm playing football at Yale, there's definitely imposter syndrome. It's particularly when you show up and you're a freshman. You remember, you know, there's always these guys that are 3-4 years older than you. And as a young man, that's a big development gap. They've been in a college weight room for 3 years. They're bigger, they're stronger. You know, they've played at the pace of the game, which is way faster when you get to that next level. And that's so you're adjusting to all these things. Physiologically, you're usually not at that level, the speed of the game. So you show up, having been all state, all everything, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't think I belong here. Like, these guys are way better. You know what I mean? And you have to go through that, you know, and then, you know, as you get more junior, senior year, a lot of times that confidence will come back a little bit. But, you know, you could be senior year and starting, you're one of the best 11 guys on the team, and you still think like, I don't know, you know? And then, you know, same thing, you know, in the SEAL teams, right? It's like you get into like a platoon and, you know, all these fucking badasses, man. And, you know, dudes, big, you know, burly dudes with tattoos and, you know what I mean? And they're hitters. And you're like, oh man, like I'm not a badass like that guy. Like, I'm not sure. And you know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of them are thinking the same thing about you. Right. And it's this weird, like, no, dude, like you do freaking belong. You know what I mean? Like, you were one of 11 people out of like 200 some that like why would you think now that you've somehow slipped through the cracks? Like, statistically, that's absurd. So why, even when you've done all the things that I've asked of you and you've done all the training, would you get to a platoon and think, I don't know, man, I don't know if I can hang with these guys? You literally did the exact same thing they all did to get there. But again, it's this, man, maybe this is a fluke. And you know, eventually they're going to figure out I'm a fraud and I'm not actually that tough and I'm not actually that hard. It's like, no, dude, you've done all of those things that are absurd. You are hard. You are tough. You are proficient. You were able to learn the trade just like they were and be tested on it and pass the milestones. And then the last one for me now is that idea of being a CEO, right? Like, you see all these like super versed CEOs that are, you know, writing books and doing speaking engagements. And you're like, oh, like that's a CEO. Like I'm even though I'm 11 years into this, we've produced a 0.0001% outcome as a company. Even in that context, I still am like, I'm not a real CEO. This is a fluke. You know what I mean? So I chew on that of like, how, no matter how overwhelming the results can be in the positive and in how maybe like statistically difficult it would be to achieve that, you still put yourself in the, oh, it's a fluke. It's like, how many more things you have to do before you say, hey, maybe this is actually a track record related to my own efforts and my own abilities, right? And I don't say that in an arrogant way, but it's a little bit, you know, I don't want to say pathetic, but like, hey man, you do fucking belong here. Some of those other CEOs that you're like, you know, comparing yourself to, you're actually better than they are. They raised $50 million in capital and had a private equity firm holding their hand the whole way. You know what I mean? You were active duty. Like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? This thing was, you know, so I try to check myself on that a little bit, but just that idea of imposter syndrome and confidence and you know, so that's when they were talking about the insecure hyperachiever. And I think what happens is that leads the person to want to achieve the next thing, right? That, cause then they think, okay, as soon as I do that, then like I can get, you know, then I can get rid of this, like, oh, I haven't done enough, you know? And that's when we get into, you know, the old delayed gratification that kind of merges those worlds together of like, okay, you have to be happy in the moment and not think that you get one more accomplishment and then you're going to be good. I don't know. I reflect on that. And I wonder if there's more people that maybe don't talk about it, but have felt similar, insecurities, even though on paper you've achieved very elite things. And also from a performance standpoint, like, it doesn't mean you're not performing. It doesn't mean like you're not showing confidence, like doing CQC in the kill house, like to everyone else, like you're freaking confident, you're squared away, you're fit, you're doing your job, but deep down, you know what I mean? You're about to pop that door open. You're like, fuck, like, I don't know if I'm skilled enough to be doing this.